Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel for another exciting fun-filled episode on this Passagemaker dinghy build series. We got lots to do, so let's get at it. Alrighty then, so this last coat I put on is looking pretty darn good. I'm starting to kind of get the hang of this. Now there are some spots that aren't the greatest, and I've actually gone ahead and emailed Total Boat to see if there's something you can do about some small imperfections, some brush marks kind of thing. If it can be buffed out, I would think you'd be able to buff out this paint, especially before it gets too cured and set. I would think there'd be take a buffing wheel or something and go to town on it, and it would smooth everything right out. But I haven't heard back from them yet, so I think I'm just going to go along as I'm doing, and it's due for a sand, and then I hope the final paint here coming up in the next couple days. But you can see, like right here, you can see I've got actually I had come out the day after I had painted the first coat on, and I'd found a couple spots. I wanted to try to touch them up a little bit. I had a spot here that wasn't really painted real well, so I tried to put some more paint on. But then when you do that, then you got brush marks and stuff along here. Maybe you can see some in here. And then this bottom, for some reason, this very bottom part, for some reason, is giving me all kinds of grief to get it real shiny and smooth. But I'm not going to worry about it too much. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and paint, or I'm going to go ahead and sand today, and do a real light sanding, because it's looking pretty darn good. Just do a one light sanding, and then tomorrow morning put the hopefully the final coat on the outside here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll show you the end result. Alrighty then, so I got the final coat on. This is, if you don't count the first one, this would be 3. So I think it's actually 4, but the first one I hosed up pretty bad. I'm probably not counting that one. So anyways, it's gonna, if you stand back far enough, it looks pretty darn good. So that's what we're gonna go with. You can still see I have, the wet edge that they talk about is real, and you can see right in here on the bottom of the boat where I did one side and then the other, getting that to line back up is kind of hard, because I do one side of the boat and then come back around and do the other side, and by the time I'd get back to that spot, the paint had dried too much. So anyways, having that on the bottom of the boat I think is fine. A couple other spots that may not look quite the greatest, but for me it's going to be good enough. So hopefully I'll hear back, and if anybody knows, I really would like to know if if you could take and buff this out, maybe wax it and buff it or something to get rid of a few spots, because I've got like a little bit of a sags down around here, but I guess I'm not gonna worry about it. It's protected. It looks halfway decent. Like I said, if you stand back far enough, it looks pretty good. So next step is I'm going to go ahead and raise the boat up with my high sawhorses and start working underneath. The problem I'm going to have is how do I get it up and then paint the inside, especially on the front and the back here, where it's going to be sitting on the sawhorse here. It's going to be kind of hard to get in, especially on this edge here that I want to paint white, and on the back side. So I could put the straps back in to pull it back up, but that would get in the way. Putting the sawhorse is going to get in the way a little bit, but I think what I'm going to do is paint everything except the aft transom and the front transom on the inside. And then once I'm done, then I got to flip the boat over anyways, and that's when I'll go ahead and do the aft and the front, the bow transom here, and paint those on the inside once it's upside down, and that'll be a lot easier. And then also I'll probably have some other touch up to do then too. So that's the plan. It's been so long since I've been underneath to look on the inside of the boat. I'm not sure what state it's in. I think I've got to do another sand at 220 on the whole thing, but and I may have to use some of the poor man's filler there with the primer and the cello fill to put in a few fill in a few spots, but we'll see. Anyways, let me get this up and get some more sanding done. Probably won't get to the putting the paint on today, and then I got other stuff to do the next 2 days, so maybe later this week I'll be able to start putting paint on the inside. All right, got the boat up higher so I can get underneath it now. On the inside here, we're looking pretty good. It looks like we're. I did have most of it sanded, so what my game plan is. Sorry, it's kind of dark in here. Let's get it this way. So what my game plan is here is to I'm going to fill in these the holes where the screws are, but I think that's too big of an area for my poor man's fairing compound there. So I went ahead and ordered some total boat fairing compound, the smallest amount available. So that should be here late tomorrow. And I can go ahead and fill this in the next day and sand it down the day after that and be ready to paint in here. So in the meantime, the other thing that I was doing was cleaning up the rub rail here, and I had put tape over here on the very first coat of the outside paint, and then after that first disaster I took it off. I never replaced it, so I was just sanding this down a little bit, and I decided that I think it'd be better if I had two-part primer on this rub rail on this face and on the other face here, to make it a little bit more tougher, a little bit more durable. So I'm going to go ahead and sand out today. I'm going to go ahead and sand down the rub rail back to bare wood for the most part, and then put two coats of the two-part primer on here, and then tomorrow I should be able to sand, get a good smooth sand on that, and then hopefully we'll have the fairing compound to do the inside, and then we can get to here a painting. The other thing that I decided was I'm going to go ahead and tape off both, like I said before, I'll go ahead and tape off the forward and the aft the transom and the forward bow part here along a line, and then I'll just do those parts once I flip the boat back over, mainly because I've got to do stuff with that edge there, and on the same thing on the back on the aft transom. So I think that'll work. I'll have a decent line here to do the wet edge up against and do a tape, so that I can do that part when it's a little bit easier and the boat's sitting upright. So I'll get busy on that and pause, and I'll probably come back for when I do the fairing on the inside here. Alright, another day out here in the shed, and I did get the 2 coats of the two-part epoxy primer on the rail, both on the side here and on the bottom, and did just a really light sand on that. So I got that on both sides. I'm pretty happy with that, and the fact that I used up absolutely all of that two-part epoxy primer. So I don't have any more of that to go, and I think we shouldn't need it anymore. My only concern is when I do the boom, yard, and rudder and dagger board, rudder cheek, and all the other stuff here. I think we used regular primer on this anyways. Maybe I'll have to go back and look. Anyways, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm done with the two-part primer, finished it all up, so that makes me happy. So good. So I do have oh, while I'm here so I've been looking ahead a little bit, and up next is after we get the boat painted, we got to get back to actually starting putting stuff on. One of the things that I was looking at here is they have you do the forestay and then the two side stays here. And I guess maybe I hadn't looked at it close before, but they've got you doing line up to the standing rigging shrouds here, and then doing wraps and stuff. And I I think there should be a better way to do it, and not that expensive either. And what I think I might do is do a soft shackle, a short soft shackle here, and then a turnbuckle. Just put a turnbuckle in here, and that gives me a little bit better adjustment. So I guess this is okay, and they do give you the snap rings, but I still, you know, if you wanted to take this part off, if you wanted to take this off the boat, you'd have to undo the whole thing to get it off. These other ones, so if you don't have a take apart boat, they give you these little straps here that you put on that bulkhead, that mini part right there, and then do the lashing up from it. And again, I think, I can't tell, yeah, so that's got a snap ring at the end of it. So then I guess you could do this part off, and it would stay with the shroud, the side shrouds. Here they've got the just going around the knob, the star knob, for the take apart version, and then doing a lashing. So I guess you could take that off, but I don't think this is a very elegant way to do it. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm overthinking it a little bit, but I want to be able to take up and down the mast pretty easily, and I'm not sure that this is the way to do it. So anyways, if anybody out there's got one of these boats that is watching me go through this, if you know what that measurement is here, between where the shroud comes down and the hole here, if you could let me know what that is, and or if using a soft shackle with a turnbuckle and going up to the shroud is a bad idea, then let me know that too. But if I knew what these distances were, then I could get the soft shackle and the turnbuckles. Otherwise, I'll have to wait till I get it up there and then measure it, because you can see maybe it's just a matter of perspective here, but this one here on the take apart version looks like it's pretty short, and then this one on the not take apart version is pretty long, but this one doesn't kind of make sense either, because they don't have the mast in place. So I'm not sure what they're showing us here, but anyways, that's kind of what I'm thinking of doing. If it's a bad idea, let me know. If you know what this distance is here or about, I'm sure it's got some variation in it, but if I had the turnbuckle, I could at least get a pretty decent range in the middle, and that's what I'm planning to do. So anyways, there's that, and then I do have the smallest amount of the total fare that I could buy, these cute little things here. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up a very small batch of that, and then do up on the inside here these the screw holes here, with the heads of the screws. I'm just going to go over those real lightly, and then when I was doing the two-part epoxy, I had a couple of pinholes up in the front here that I was able to cover. That one probably looks okay. That should cover up with paint, but I think I got some. Oh yeah, there's one right there. So I got a couple up here that I want to see if I can fill in with that fairing compound. And then also I've got up on this guy here somewhere, right there. I've got a little bit of a gouge I want to take care of, and a couple other spots along here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the fairing compound and let it dry. I got to go look and see if it needs priming afterwards. I don't think you have to prime it afterwards, but I'll go and see if I can figure that out. I may not, even if it says to, I may not. I think I do have some regular primer left, so we may still do that. But other than that, we're all ready for paint on the inside. So if I can get this fairing on, and then maybe get back out here today and sand it. It should get warmer today, so it should dry by this evening. If I get back out here and sand it, I might be able to get back and put the first coat on the interior here today, but we'll see. It might be tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow morning I can do it. Anyways, we'll go ahead and set you up, and we'll see if we can get a little bit of, see how I do on this fairing. I'm sure it'll be pretty funny, but we'll go ahead and see if we can get this a shot. All right, then I got my my filler mixed up. It comes yellow and blue, and you mix it up, and it turns to green. Supposed to do it by equal volume. So I did a bit and a bit, and we'll see how this goes. I just got a regular stir stick here, and I've cut off the other end. I really like to try to not make very much of a mess, and at the same time I'm not sure, I don't remember seeing anything if this this shrinks. So if I should leave a blob like that and then sand it down, or if I should leave it smooth and flush. I think we're going to go for something like that, and then sand it down. The you know, besides this being a little bit too big for too much of an area for that poor man's filler, I just really wanted to try. I just wanted to try this using this total boat filler, and the whole project here, this whole building this boat is really kind of in preparation for getting a bigger sailboat and working on it. So this is kind of one of those things that go along with a bigger sailboat, is using fairing compound to patch up holes and fix mistakes. So I thought I'd better go ahead and give this a shot while I got the opportunity. Again, I have no clue about what I'm doing. But we're going to call that good. Let me go ahead and zip around and get the rest of these, and then I'll probably show you what we got once I'm done sanding. Alright, so it's been about 6 hours since I put the fairing compound on, and I came back out and sanded it down. Oops. And came out pretty good. I'm just doing sanding it till it's smooth. Definitely would have been better, like right here. This one is just a little bit of a divot in it, but not too bad. And the smaller the amount that I put on, the less I went through. I'm not sure, and less sanding, of course, it took. But I guess it doesn't really matter, since I've got to reprime all this anyways. So that's what I'm going to do next here, is do a quick wipe down on this and do a prime on just the areas that I've hosed up here with the fairing compound and sanding it down. So just need a quick the one coat, the one part primer, and then hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get out and do the last sanding on it and start the finish the first coat on the interior here. So like I've done before, it's kind of hard to do in film inside here, so I'll go ahead and we'll bring it back once I've got maybe the first coat, or maybe when I'm done with it. We'll see what I feel like. But anyways, yep, looking pretty good. Time to get some progress on the inside of this and get this darn boat finished up. Alrighty then, so I've got 3 coats of paint on the inside here of the boat. The boat's still upside down, and I thought it would be a good time to go ahead and put this porthole thing in here while it's upside down. I've got pretty good access to this spot here. So yeah, so I've got 3 coats on the inside, and the next step will be, I think, to go ahead and flip the boat over, hopefully for the last time. And then do some other work, maybe have to do some touch-ups, and have to put the take it apart, and we got still got lots to do, but I wanted to get this done while I had the boat upside down here. So I've already this fits pretty good with that big old hole that I drilled, and I've got the right screws, I think, for this, and I've got the right sealant that we're going to use for this, I think. And so next I'm just doing some prep now. So I put this up here, drew this ring around, and then I used some of this Scotch Brite red stuff here, and I've scuffed up the area here. I just need to do a little bit more to make sure we've got a good surface. Alright, that seems like that's pretty good. I'm gonna have to use de-waxer on this here anyways. So I think the way I want to do this is go ahead and put tape around here, and then I'll put this ring back on here and cut the tape here and then peel it off the inside. I think is probably the best way to do this. So let's see how this works. I can just barely see the pencil line that's there. All right, let's see how that works. Now I can put this back here. Oops, I'm off up here a little bit. And over here, all right, no problem. Now, the line got kind of faint there, so let's just see if that got it. There, that's better. All right, now I just got to find my X-Acto knife. All right, got a nice sharp one here too. So let's see if this how this works. I shouldn't have to hardly press at all. Let's start over here. Blind man be tickled to death, see that. Alright, I'll put this X-Acto knife away before I lose it or cut myself. Alright, so let's put this back up here and mark the holes first. I think what I'm going to do next is I'll mark and drill the pilot holes, and then we can put down the sealant and screw it in. Yep. All right, good. So let me get this lined up. It looks pretty close right there. Get in the way too much or not. Yeah, let's try that. How hard could it be? I think I'm going to go ahead and use, I got a little center punch here. I think I'm going to go ahead and use it to get me started so I don't get too far off when I'm drilling these. All right, let's see if that works. And I got 1/8 inch drill bit. I'm using number 8 screws. I think this is the right size. We'll know soon enough. Yep, so I'm using 1/2 inch stainless steel screws, number 8 stainless steel screws, 1/2 inch long. And I wanted to make sure that they didn't protrude on the other side, at least not much. So I think we got exactly what we needed there. I also bought 5/8 long screws just to make sure, but I think these 1/2 inch ones are going to do just fine. Good deal. So there's the dry fit. So nice. Yeah, looks pretty straight. Looks like I actually know what I'm doing there sometimes. All right, good deal. Let me go ahead and we'll take this off. We'll do one quick clean up here and smear some goo on it. Put it back in place and let it dry. Well, heck. All right, so maybe we're not going to do this right away here. It looks like I got to make another trip to the store. So I thought I went to the store to buy the 3M 4200, which I thought was probably what I wanted to do here. I'm thinking now, that's plastic. And I might want to remove it someday. So I do not want to use 5200 on something that I might want to remove someday. So let me pause here and go make a quick run up to my local hardware pusher and see if they've got 4200 instead of 5200. All right, that was a quick run up to the hardware store and got myself the 4200, and you see here access plates. So must have the right stuff. You can never tell with this kind of stuff whether you're getting right. But this seems to be a pretty popular choice. So let's see how this goes. Oh, and they're just reading the instructions there, and it wants you to use acetone to clean that up with. So let's see here. I'm not going to bother putting the nozzle on it since I don't really need to squeeze it in anywhere. I just need to get it on this surface. I'm just going to run a pretty big bead around here. Let's see how that does. There we go. Be prepared. Try to do it cleanly. And this is what happens. It goes all over the darn place. Alrighty, I put a little mark on the bottom here, and hopefully I can line that up with, since I can't really see the screw holes anymore. Alright, that looks pretty good. Yeah, got them. I'm not going to tighten these down all the way. I just want to get them snug. Kind of equal pressure. Looks like we got some mostly good squeeze out. Yep, good deal. So yeah, so it takes 24 hours to cure. So what the plan is to come back tomorrow and tighten these the rest of the way down. And that kind of makes it a gasket kind of deal, and gives us hopefully a little bit better chance at getting a good seal and no water getting in there. But the next thing is getting the tape off now. Alright, that didn't come off too bad. I got a little bit of a mess to clean up there, but not half as bad as it could have been. Alright, good deal. Better stop messing with it. If I don't, you know what happens. Alright, so yep, so I'll pause here, and then we'll be back out tomorrow. I'm not going to touch it, not going to do anything, just going to stay away from it and let it cure up, and then we'll be back out tomorrow, give the screws just to tighten down a little bit, flip the boat over, and see what's next. Alright, bright and early next morning here, and looks like this is cured up pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead and just check, see what the, oh yeah, just a little bit, maybe a quarter turn or less, just to tighten them down. Yep, perfect. Good deal. Where did I put that? I better make sure I put these. I'll end up losing these covers and having to replace the whole thing. Alright, I'm gonna leave that about like that. Alright, good. So now the next step, I think, is to turn the boat over for hopefully the last time. I'm trying to think if I need to, if there'll be anything else that I'll need to do with the boat upside down. And I can't really think of anything right now. So hopefully this will be the last time I have to turn the boat over in quite a while. So let me get that done, and then we'll be back in a little bit. Alright, got the boat turned back over. It was a little bit more energetic than I liked, but doesn't seem to be any harm done. Anyway, so the inside looks pretty good. I knew I'd have some places to touch up. This rail here, the top of this needs to be done. The this seat up here, I think I could use another coat on here. It's kind of hard to tell in the, you can see the little bit of a difference there. It's not really uniform, so might give this another paint. I'm not real happy with this wet edge total boat, to be honest with you. I don't think it covers very good, and it seems like it's taking a long time to dry. This could be good, but I'm having to wait at least a day between coats before I could even rough it up to put another coat on. So yeah, I'm not, and it doesn't really cover and doesn't really flow. I don't know. I haven't really, the time, I guess time will tell how well it stands up. But anyways, for the most part, the rest of the boat looks okay. Not something you'd want to put in a museum or anything, that's for sure, but at least it doesn't look all that bad. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and take the front off and get that set up, because I want to paint this side. I'm probably just going to use white again on the side here, and then put the rubber on the other side, and then well, we might wait on that because I want to do the touch up in the paint here first, and then also I've got some touch up on the back here along that back rail to do some painting there too. So I think we'll do the painting over the next couple of days on this, and then I can put the rubber gasket on there and then put it back together. So I think that's what's next. So let me pause here and get this darn boat apart and get set up, and we'll do some painting. All right, then after my last attempt to seal this joint went horribly wrong, I thought I'd just go ahead and show you that this butyl tape here works pretty good. Just take a plastic spatula here. So I expect I'll still have to do use some degreaser on this. You can even almost kind of see the residue here, or the different color. So I'll have to do probably some sanding and some degreasing on this anyways. But getting it off, it seems like it should be just a matter of going over with this plastic spatula here and be done with it. So doesn't look like it should take too long at all. All right, we're back out in the shed again, looking at the boat. So Thursday morning, I went and got a second coat on this, and then I also did some touch up on the rest of the boat, a couple of areas, the rails, and did some more touch up. And so that's Thursday morning, and it's Saturday morning now, and this is still tacky, still pretty tacky to the touch. So I don't know what's going on, but I know I've got some total boat paint to finish up and use, but after that I'm done with total boats. I'm not real happy with that paint, and don't like the way it goes on. Don't like the way it takes so long to dry, and yeah, we'll have to find something different. I think I could have used regular house paint and had a better result than this. So well, hopefully it'll last a while, and it'll be a while before I have to make that choice. But somehow I don't think it's going to last very long. Anyways, yeah. So I think this is probably a good stopping point for this video. In the next couple of videos, we got a lot of good stuff coming up here. The next thing I'm going to do is put the rubber gasket on the front part of the boat that goes in between here. So we'll put that rubber gasket on there. I'll put the boat together, and I still do have some other painting left to do with the yard, the boom. Some of the other parts need to be painted before we put them on or get them ready. We still have the mast has to be put together and some work done there. And so we've got quite a few things here over the next 2 or 3 weeks that are going to be a lot more different, a lot better. And I'm hoping within maybe 4 or 5 weeks here we'll have this boat finally out on the water, but we'll have to see how it goes. Anyways, wanted to say thanks for watching, thanks for your support. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Please leave me comments, questions, suggestions down below. Please tell your friends about me. Please subscribe. Everyone, take care and be good.